What's going on, guys? It's UrAvgConsumer, and today Google held their Pixel event where they announced a ton of new products, from the Pixel Buds, the new Nest Home Router, Nest Mini, PixelBook, lots of new stuff, but of course the most important thing was that new Pixel 4. Now the Pixel 4 looks like a lot of what we've already seen in all of the leaks that Google pretty much did on purpose, and I gotta say, this is probably the best looking Pixel phone yet. And the new phones come in 3 different colors: just black, clearly white, and also orange. And I gotta say, also orange is more like a peach, just saying. But the also orange and the clearly white have this nice matte textured finish. It looks really good and actually feels good in the hand. Just black is glossy though, which is a familiar design, but I will say the other two, you don't have to worry about fingerprints, which is actually pretty nice. Now in terms of specs, surprisingly enough, Google didn't even go over it in the presentation, but we're looking at an 855 processor, 6 gigs of RAM, an option of 64 or 128 gigs of storage. And since there is a Pixel 4 and a Pixel 4 XL, when it comes to battery life, the Pixel 4 has 2,800 milliamp hours, while the Pixel 4 XL has 3,700. Now that's a little bit on the low end for the Pixel 4, but we gotta test it out in the real world to see how bad it is, but 2800 doesn't give me too much confidence. Now for the Pixel 4, we're looking at a 5.7-inch Full HD Plus display, while the Pixel 4 XL is rocking a 6.3-inch Quad HD Plus display. Now the kicker with these displays is that they now have a smooth display with 90 Hz refresh rate. So if you know 90 Hz or even 120 Hz, you know that increase in the refresh rate makes everything look so much smoother in the menus. It is overall a much nicer experience. So they both got these now, but I am curious to see how that's gonna impact the battery life. So the hardware is one thing, but Google introduced some really cool new features that are gonna be really interesting to try out. First one being introducing radar right into the top of the phone. Now you might be wondering, what does a smartphone need radar for? But Google actually has some pretty interesting implementations here. One of them being able to swipe across the screen to skip to a next song. And all of these gestures are what Google's calling motion sense. It's actually a pretty interesting feature. In the demo area, it was a bit hit or miss. Some devices kind of work better than others. Marquez's device, not so well, but mine actually did a much better job. And it was just pretty interesting to be able to swipe between songs by just waving your hand over the screen, and that radar detects that motion and kind of knows that it's going to skip to the next track. So it worked in apps like Spotify. I was actually able to pull it off in YouTube. Now I wonder if that's gonna make me change the way I use the phone. I'm not really sure, but I'll try it out and see. Now, another cool thing you're able to do with that radar is if you have like an alarm set or something and you go and you reach for the phone's gonna detect that your hand's coming over, probably to silence the alarm, and it'll automatically bring the volume down so that it can stop ringing and driving you crazy while you go to hit snooze or stop. Now, another really cool implementation of the phone being able to detect your hand coming towards it is when you actually go to pick up the phone and unlock it. So I was actually able to grab the phone, hold it up to my face, and it scanned my face, unlocked it, and it was actually a really seamless process. The new face unlock seemed pretty fast, and in combination of the phone detecting that I was going to pick it up, you get into the phone like that, and I love it. No swiping, no pressing buttons, it's really quick. And that's gonna be one of those features that I feel like I'm gonna really enjoy when I'm actually using the phone, and I feel like it's going to spoil me when it comes to using other phones. Now they also introduced a new voice recording app, and we all know those voice recording apps on our phones. They're not ever really that useful, but this is something where I feel like has some actual application in the real world. Now what's new with this voice recording app is being able to, in real time, transcribe the words that it's hearing. So if you're having an interview or maybe you're in class during a lecture, trying to record what that person is saying, it's going to be able to give you actual text with what the person is saying. And I tried this out myself in a demo room full of a ton of people and a lot of noise, and it got everything that I said with 100% accuracy. Now, the most important thing when we're talking about the Pixel phone is, of course, the camera. And Google made some interesting choices with the camera. They added a second lens, but now they added a telephoto lens instead of an ultra wide. And I think a lot of the people in the tech space, or at least on tech Twitter, kind of felt like, why not? Google said that they found the telephoto to be more important than the ultra wide. I don't know if I agree with that, but I'm sure that that has helped them to create some better features within the phone. So now the feature we all know and love, portrait mode, has been improved. There's better edge detection. So hairs, dog hairs, those kind of things is actually going to be able to detect it really well and create a nice, beautiful image. They've also improved the bokeh so it can look a bit more realistic. So these are kind of things that we're expecting from the portrait mode. Not to mention, those cameras are now going to be able to detect depth a little bit better. So if you are standing farther away from your subject, you can still take a nice portrait mode shot and not have to be super close in order to get it off. So it's going to be interesting to see how portrait mode behaves, and I'm going to put that thing through its paces. And Google even improved their night sight feature. So if you want to go ahead and take pictures of stars, you're going to be able to do that now. They showed some impressive samples, but of course, we're going to have to test that out in person and kind of really see what it can do. Now, for all my folks out there who love HDR photos, Google introduced a new feature where you'll be able to actually use a slider for 2 different settings, so you can control your brightness with one and also the shadows with another. So if you want to take a picture or frame it to be like a silhouette of some sort, you'll be able to do that with this. So my photography heads out there, you know that this is going to be a big deal. But all of these things have to be tested in a real day in the life. But as of right now, the Pixel 4 is looking like an interesting phone. It's still looking like it is going to be that main Android phone that I carry around with me. So I can't wait to go ahead and put it through its paces. I actually got my hands on it already, and it was actually a really interesting experience. But now I can say that I unboxed a smartphone with a pizza. So kudos to that. But what do you guys think of the Pixel 4? Is this a phone that you guys are jumping at? It retails starting at $700 and pre-orders start today. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of it, guys, and I'm going to have a real day in the life coming soon for you guys to see. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, be the cool guy or girl that gives it a thumbs up. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. And if you're interested in any of the other Pixel products, let me know which ones really pique your attention, because I'm definitely getting my hands on them. Till next time, guys, your average consumer. Peace.